Hello guys, we're just gonna chill right now. This is a chill talk discussion, open period. If you want to talk, we'll just talk. Um, I'll just discuss some plans, I guess. I'm gonna go back to doing research after my roommate's back. So right now my roommate's not here, so I'll just keep this open for as long as he's not here. Let me go get my iPad and we'll just be discussing any questions or anything you want to talk about. So I'm gonna go get that real quick. I love you guys, and let me know what you guys want to talk about. I'm just chilling on my bed right now. You can see outside. Alright, so the future topic is going to be how to use the TikTok algorithm to, what's it called, like, protect your energy. You know, people talk about, like, protecting your energy. I'm going to talk about exactly what that looks like in terms of, like raw outputs. Like, it has a specific definition. So to protect your energy is basically to protect, so if you see my videos about consciousness, it's to prevent your mental state from changing. So that's what we talk about all the time. Like, don't let your mental state be affected by the world around you. So if someone says hey, mean things or if negative things, don't really pick up on their negativity. And that's really what it's about. So if you guys just want to ask any questions or just chill, just chill. That's what this is for right now. I'll bring up exactly how that's going to work right now. I just got to open the iPad. How are you guys doing this afternoon or evening, wherever you are? So, yeah, watch the consciousness video if you haven't. There are different models of consciousness. We can choose it as like a triple state model. We can use it as kind of like red, green, blue, but I don't really like that one. I like the dualism because the dualism has a lot more application. It's more universal. Like we could treat it as positive, negative, and neutral, but neutral I don't really like. I think neutral is like arbitrary. I don't think neutral really exists. I think you'll always be within the spectrum of the categories. Like you'll always have some consciousness more to the left or consciousness more to the right. To anything, such as like you're in like a loving state, you're in a calm state, you're in a scared state. Like you are defined, you are definable. So the reason why all this works is because you're able to be categorized into such strict bit values. You know, as much as you think that you're like head fast and individualistic, you can be categorized, and you do have an approximate wave function to people like you. You get me? If you ever wondered why, like, you are able to communicate with the people, like, why do you have friend groups, you know? It's because you guys are most likely within the same boundaries of consciousness. But it's not just that. As well, I've been working on I'm going to show this later, but this is just a process. I've been working on how to explain consciousness, and so this is just the dynamics of conversation. We're going to go into the dynamics of conversation in terms of information exchange, like, later. Like all this was like written like over this weekend, just chilling, just writing stuff out. Your consciousness works off of like a noise perturbation. You know, like there's always noise. You get me? There's always gonna be thoughts in there, but where you actually lay and where you actually think is that bigger function. Yes, you can actually you can start defining these if you really get nitpicky enough and you really get enough data set. You can start defining an exact unit space. And so that's the cool thing about physics. Like, no matter what, you can always, like, binary people and always put things into terms of physics. Let's look at the next thing. So people were asking, not people, but, like, I was watching the For You page, and, like, that's sort of where my discussion, like, goes. Like, what are people asking? Like, what is the, general consciousness? And so I've been I'm going to explain what personality is and what people think personality is. That's going to come later. So it's like, it's what you think you are, but in reality, it's like that width. It's how many conscious states are you? Because some people are dicks. You know, like they're just rude, they're just mean. But what does that really mean? It's like their width of consciousness. That's what that is. We're gonna go eventually. Like, I love this one. This one I worked hard on to make the visuals clean. So this is exactly how consciousness works to every level. So I want to show you guys how the ego works, and each of those different trees down there are personalities. So they're like conscious groups. So someone who's like, you get me, like, so what what astrology would call like, you get me, like stubborn personalities. Like every personality exists within some sort of framework. So someone might have some sort of personality down there on the right, but their main ego could be up above, that bigger one, because that's where they have most of their consciousness charted in their brain. So all this is just trying to explain consciousness, which I believe we easily can. Like it's not hard. Now that we have the actual like large enough data sets, we can find you. We already can track like revolutionaries. We can already track terrorists. We can already track people like that. So using this method, you can like find yourself. You can like, this is what I use it for. I actually use TikTok after I discovered like how to understand my own brain. I use TikTok as like a spiritual way to find where I am. Like if there's too much of like neutral or too much of like one way or the other, I know I'm spiritually kind of like drained, or I'm like, that's gonna be the next video as well. So let's go back to the specific consciousness that I have. So the model that I was gonna make right now is I was gonna explain how to use TikTok as like a way, as like a spiritual guide. So when you are too much in neutral space, when you have it, when it cannot find you, when you cannot find yourself, or TikTok cannot find you, that means you're in neutral space. That means you have every coefficient all like 50-50, because you're not giving anything any particular attention. You're not giving like a video your attention. You're not giving like, you get me? Like you're not looking for mindless content. And so that means you're in neutral space. When you're in neutral space, this is where most like coders end. They're like, oh fuck, we can't do anything about that. But neutral space is beautiful. Neutral space means that you're actually in like an orthogonal, a 90-degree like transition. That means your solution does not exist in any of your vector spaces, it does not exist in excitement, it does not exist in happiness, it does not exist in sadness. Your solution to your problem exists somewhere else. And that's what happens. Like a TikTok will then look for another binary to get you, because whatever binary that it found to get you is a new solution space. That is a new solution space of your brain. Can you start tracking how we can use very basic ones first? Happy, excited, calm. Sorry, happy, excited, attentive, to then find where you are. Hello. Hello, soul. I see you. I see you. Thank you very much, friend. Thank you for being here. So if you ever wanted to know like how consciousness works, like this is it. We're gonna start going into that a little more later. But just right now we're chilling. Right now I just want to talk to you guys and ask any questions and just let you guys know what's going up. So if you guys have any questions at all, that's what this is for. I want to just be here right now. That was just the plans of how it's gonna go. Hello. So yeah, you are just Fourier space. That's all this research is. Like I just break things down. Another category is like soulful. So you can have content that's like very soulful. You can have feminine, masculine dynamics. So you will notice when your content shifts towards like a masculine energy, when you see more male souls, more male voices, male dominated voices. Typically, I've noticed that my conscious space is kind of more feminine. It's just me, like there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't mean like it's like thirst traps, like because like sorry, I can't say that. But people basically are into that stuff, but I'm not. I'm just kind of there for like, hey, my energy's flowing, I'm flowing. So that's what I mean by you can use TikTok as like a spiritual thing, because that's what I use it for. So back to the orthogonal thing. When your solution set does not exist in either forward or backward or in the duality, that means it exists in three-dimensional space. Your solution set is orthogonal. This is what, there's another video that I have favorited in my like favorite history that I'll eventually get to. What we're going to get to is this orthogonal nature that people describe Christ-like and describe religion. So yes, okay, another thing. Okay, so after we evaluated consciousness, and now that we understand personalities, we can understand how typical associations and typical negative behaviors such as schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, work within the brain. They're all actually like problems with consciousness. Schizophrenia is too much consciousness. It is too much recursion. So how the brain works is that we are like recursive computers. We have the ability to do like differential equations in our head. I never thought that's what it was, but then I realized that's what it was. So if you don't understand the physics behind it, just know that what it actually means is just that 90-degree thing, you know, like you can have stuff in one vector direction in like one space, but then there's an entire additional set where your variables actually do change. Okay, now let's go to the cool thing. I'm going to talk later as well about how consciousness. Let me see what this is. So we don't need consciousness as torchbearers. So this is like the king and slave mentality. The slave worker is required to move his conscious state from his own ego to become a torchbearer. You basically are not hiring computers. You are hiring people, human beings, with blood and like going through their bodies just to be a torchbearer. They're on Firewatch, and that's not right. If we cannot get a computer to like figure out the entire decision-making algorithm, you don't need a person there. That's another basis of what I'm trying to do. And the biggest thing to everything is that consciousness is universal. Is that life itself is everyone. Everyone is just a different path. You get me? So this is someone, but someone else can exist on a different boundary, a different spectrum. Yes, it is possible to like, by understanding consciousness, for us to start respecting each other and for us to start really like asking, do we need a person to do this job? I don't think we do. We're going to talk about how to actually do it. So we're going to use particle physics as well to do like a sevenfold model for personalities. That's possible. And then later on, I wanted to talk about just like personal energies, stuff. So I suppose the stream is dead. Thank you for sticking around, friend. Bye, guys. It's good. This will be recorded, and I'll just put it on YouTube. See you guys.